Well, ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania is right around the corner, and I do not know how I feel about it. I mean, let's be real with ourselves. There's almost no hype. The matches are getting booked every week like they're nobody's business. And they're having a guy named Bad Bunny face a guy who was WWE Champion twice. What a company. That might sound like this year's WrestleMania is going to be terrible, but this year's Mania is going to have fans. It's not going to have a stadium full of fans, but it's going to have fans. WWE is finally catching on. With that being said, there's not going to be that many stars that were at last year's Mania at this show, or shows, since it's 2 nights again. Some people, like Bobby Lashley, are in much better matches than they were last year. Some people, like Aleister Black, went down a lot. And some people have just stayed right where they are, like Drew McIntyre. But there are some names that were on last year's card that aren't going to be at this year's show for one reason or another. And we're looking at those names today. So if you're worried about your favorite wrestler not showing up at the show, you will soon know why and probably still be disappointed. I'm Jackson Haney from Insane Internet Wrestling, and here are 5 WWE Superstars who will not be at WrestleMania 37.
Number 5, Becky Lynch.
This is probably the most obvious example, but it's also one of the most sad. I say it's sad because the Raw Women's Division is a pile of crap, and Becky Lynch will save the Raw Women's Division when she comes back. However, I don't think she's coming back that soon. I don't think she's going to come back as soon as WrestleMania, though that would be nice. I think she will come back a little bit after Mania, but I don't think she'll show up on the day. If you morons in the audience are wondering, wait, why is Becky Lynch out anyway? Well, let me tell you, she's in a relationship with Seth Rollins. They are married, and they have had a child together named Rue. Wonderful name, by the way. Lynch is out on maternity leave, and Rollins was out for some time, but has returned and is now in a feud with either Nakamura or Cesaro. I'm not really sure which. The last time we saw Becky Lynch on WWE programming was back in May 2020, when this channel was first created. Fun fact. We last saw Becky Lynch announcing that she was pregnant and giving the Raw Women's Championship to Asuka. That was the first video on this channel, and if you want to see it, click here. Before that, she had been Raw Women's Champion for well over a year, winning it from someone I'll get to later, and defending it against a bunch of people, including Lacey Evans, Asuka, and, most memorably, Sasha Banks. Considering little baby Lynch was born just a few months ago, it could be a little while before we see Lynch on WWE TV again, but don't expect it to be that long. Expect her to see her really soon, just not at Mania.
Number 4, Ronda Rousey.
Every time someone makes a wrestler who could appear at X event video, Ronda Rousey is always bound to show up, and I will tell you why. Because we have not seen Ronda Rousey since WrestleMania 35 back in the year of our Lord 2019. She was in WWE for a good year and then split. We have not seen her in just about 2 whole human years, and it baffles me. It baffles me because there are so many new wrestlers that Ronda could wrestle right now. Rhea Ripley, Peyton Royce, because she's gotten really good. Bianca Belair. The list is endless at this point. Why she hasn't come back, I don't know. But I want to guess that they're waiting for Becky Lynch to come back so they could do a revenge storyline. Because don't people love revenge storylines? Bottom line, whenever Ronda comes back, if she ever comes back, it will be absolutely glorious. If fans are in attendance, they will pop like there is no tomorrow. The last time we saw Ronda Rousey, she was walking into the show as Raw Women's Champion. Wrap your head around that one. We had not seen her since. And we have seen a bunch of different Raw Women's Champions since then. Ronda needs to come back is what I'm trying to say. The division could desperately use her, especially Raw and especially SmackDown. Do I think she's going to be at this year's show? At this year's WrestleMania? No. I honestly don't. I hope she comes back at some point this year. I just don't think it's going to be at the Show of Shows.
Number 3, Brock Lesnar.
Like Ronda Rousey, we have not seen Brock Lesnar on WWE TV since a WrestleMania. However, like Becky Lynch, we have not seen Brock Lesnar on WWE TV since last year. The last time we saw Brock Lesnar, he was losing the WWE Championship to Drew McIntyre in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania 36. Since then, he has gone off the grid and he's grown a beard, further solidifying that he has gone off the grid. Now, Brock Lesnar is a man so tough that he could punch the moon until it cries, so I imagine he's off in the woods suplexing some bears into oblivion, just training and waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. And it might be against Roman Reigns, because Paul Heyman was Brock Lesnar's manager before he left. And now that Brock is gone, Paul has aligned himself with the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So we might see another Roman Reigns-Brock Lesnar feud. Some say yay, some say nay, I say meh. Yes, I want to see Brock back. No, I don't want to see Brock as world champion again. No, I don't think he's going to be at Mania 37 this year, both nights. And yes, I want to see him face Bobby Lashley. Or maybe Brock's just retired. I don't know. But he's the beast. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not going to question him because he's going to break me in two and then eat me.
Number 2, John Cena.
John Cena missing a WrestleMania is practically like God sinning. It's just not going to happen. But this year it might. And I hate to say it. Cena has been the face of WWE for the majority of his career. And he's easily their most recognizable wrestler. And he's been at every single WrestleMania in some capacity since 2003. That's the better part of 20 years. However, we gotta remember that Cena pulled a rock and Hollywood has got him booked. He's in Mountain Dew commercials for some reason. He's hosting Wipeout for some reason. And he's in Fast and Furious 9. I said he pulled a rock earlier, but now he's really pulling a rock, and he's apparently playing Vin Diesel's brother. Not like his friend brother, because he likes cars. Like his actual blood-related brother. I don't know, I haven't seen the trailer. And if you weren't convinced enough, he said himself he's not going to be at the show this year. COVID's one reason, obviously. Hollywood's another reason, obviously. That's all the reasoning you need. So as much as I hate to say it, John Cena will not be a part of WrestleMania in 2021. I'm sorry for all you 5-year-olds in rainbow-colored shirts, but you need to get over yourselves.
And number 1, The Undertaker.
This one, I'm actually happy to say, because the man needs to stay retired. Now, I'm not saying that in the manner of, oh, he's an old man, he should stay retired, let the young guys do the work. I'm saying it in the manner that he will get seriously hurt because he is over 50 years old and he needs to settle down. I get it. Wrestling is his life, and WrestleMania is The Undertaker. The Undertaker is WrestleMania. But, again, he's over 50 years old. It's time for him to stop. And realistically speaking, who is there for him to face? I mean, The Fiend's got a feud with Randy Orton. Cena's not going to be there. Styles is in the tag division for some reason. Balor's in NXT. So who is there? The Undertaker's my favorite wrestler ever, and I love him for all my life. But he's not going to be here, and I'm kind of thankful for it. And on top of that, it wouldn't be right, considering that if he was to wrestle at Mania this year, there'd need to be a full stadium, and it wouldn't be the same if The Undertaker is wrestling in an empty stadium or a partially filled stadium. He needs to be in an arena with every seat filled. And on top of that, he's already retired, and I think he went out brilliantly last year. So I think he shouldn't be at this year's show because he has nothing left to prove. Don't get your hopes up. Don't expect to see The Undertaker wrestle at this year's show. Don't expect to see him, period. The man is in his 50s. Let him be. Let everyone on this list be. Let them do what they need to do as people. Let them live their lives. They're probably not going to be a Mania this year. I hate to say it, but it's true.
And that's our list. Thanks for watching. Did we miss anything out? If we did, tell us about it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe. And you can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Jackson Haney from Insane Internet Wrestling, and I will see you soon.